In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys step by step on how to put together this Plush toy storage tube from Kmart. Now this tube has gone quite viral, but a lot of people can't really seem to grasp the concept of the instructions that Kmart have included, and this is because they are utter trash. I highly suggest that you scrunch up the instructions included and instead just keep on watching this video. Now, as you would have seen in the earlier footage, there are two sizes of this toy storage tube. The one that we're putting together in today's video is actually the large size. However, the instructions do not differ either way. And I actually have already done a very condensed version of this how-to video before, but in short form on my channel. I will link that up in the top right hand corner of the screen right now if you're interested in that. I did actually have to rewatch this myself to remember exactly how to put this together without filming any mistakes, in the interest of ensuring that you guys can follow this video along perfectly and are able to put your tubes together without any hassles. So after you've opened up your box, this is what it should look like on the inside, and everything that should be included is shown on the screen right now. Everything does come wrapped in bubble wrap, which is a nice little touch, but essentially you should have the two panels, a top and a bottom piece, the instructions that you're going to scrunch up and throw away, and finally this little baggie, which should include 4 zippers as well as 5 of these little stopper doohickey looking things. The first thing that you're going to want to do is grab the two panels and locate the bottom side of each one, and that will be the side that has the holes, as this is where we're going to begin. Also, if you don't want that frosty look like I've got on one of my other tubes that are already pre-made sitting in my room, I do suggest that you go ahead and take off this clear film before we move on. Also, don't change your mind halfway through because this is what it'll look like afterwards. So once you've taken the films off, what you're going to do is grab one of your zippers and align the two panels up along your floor or whatever surface you're working on so that they look like this. You need the side with the little line section on the left and the little square on the right. And what you want to do is make sure that the zipper is going to align up with the straight edge touching on the square of the right hand side of the panel. So ensuring that the zip is straight side down, you grab the top of the panel and you thread the zip all the way down to the bottom so that it meets with the flat edge of that square. Now we're going to have to thread a second zip onto the other side of the other panel, and you're going to want the flat edge for the second zip to be facing the opposite side of what your first zip was facing. So here's when you can actually flip your panels around, and this just makes it easier for us to repeat the step that we just did but on the other side of these panels. Now remember, when we did this the first time, we had to make the straight side of the zipper nose touch the straight edge of the square side on the other side of the panel. And if you're with us so far, then this is what each side should look like, but obviously on opposite sides of each panel. All right, you guys, here comes the tricky part. We're going to go ahead and push these panels together, making sure that they interlock just like a regular kind of zipper would. Let me just adjust the camera angle here. So as you can see, we do put these sides in amongst each other, and then just put the rectangle side of the zipper teeth into the square, the bottom of the actual zipper itself, and as you can see, it zips together quite nicely. So now flip your panels over once again to do the same thing on the other side. Once I flipped the panels, I actually zipped the zipper a little bit further down just to give the two panels a little bit more stability. And this part is tricky, but once you get everything in the right place, the zip will zip up perfectly fine. And once you're done fiddling and adjusting, then we can go ahead and try our best to meet these zippers up in the middle of each panel. At this point, you're now going to want to have those zips on the bottom side. So flip your panels over once again. Now is when we actually bring these panels in to form the tube. So with those zippers now on the outside, we can go ahead and repeat the two steps that we just did all over again to bring these two pieces together. Now, because your panels are upside down, you're going to have to do this a little bit upside down, but just make sure that that flat edge of the zipper is going to line up with the flat edge of the square on the other side. Moving on to the other side, we're going to do the exact same thing, making sure that that flat edge does line up with the square on the other side. So putting the zip upside down, running it along to ensure that you're going to get it threaded on in the correct way. Go ahead and thread the zipper on and pull it all the way down just to make sure that we did align it the correct way. If not, you can always just take it back off and try again. But all good, we got it right the first time. I'm so happy with myself. I'm not usually so good doing things back to front. Anyway, so as you can see on the screen now, I've actually pulled those sides together. It actually is starting to look like a tube at this point. So what you're going to do is just thread the zips together, just like how we did in the very first place, attaching panel 1 to panel 2. It's a little bit tricky. As you can see, I'm even struggling here, and I'm even using 2 hands. But eventually we get the zip connected and zipped up. We flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Peep my Pooh Bear pajama pants. As I was saying though, this part is quite tricky. It's really hard to hold the panels together. It actually would be good if you could phone a friend for a little bit of help. But as you can see, I did it all by myself. We got the zips on both sides. Now you can finish fiddling with the zips and just kind of fanjangling it until you get the zips to meet in the center. And as you can see on the other side of the zips, this little fold over section here is totally normal. Just push it down and the zips will still zip up. I don't know why it does that. You'd honestly have to ask Kmart. But there you go, you guys. You've got yourselves a nice little tube. Now what you're going to do is you're going to stand it up straight with the holes on the floor, because we're going to now put the base on. So what you want to do is make sure that you've located your little stopper doohickeys. You will only need 4 of them. As we said earlier, the base piece is the circular disc with the holes in the sides. And then you're going to just fanjangle this tube until you align the holes up with one another. It's not exactly the easiest process. Again, it would be so much more handy if you could phone a friend. My husband was sleeping, which was why I was doing this all by myself. But then you just go ahead and you grab the little stopper doohickeys and you push them in like your life depends on it. They're very, very hard, which is why I'm assuming that they include a spare one in every kit. Once you've gone through the struggle though, and sometimes, you know, you may have to adjust the tube like I had to here, it's no big deal. Like I honestly had that done in 3 seconds. Go ahead and finish popping all of the stoppers in. And then the last step is literally to just go ahead and pop the lid on top. I mean, unless you want to put your plush in there first, but I didn't know exactly what plush I was going to be sticking in this particular tube just yet. Please let me know in the comments if I was able to help you out. And if you feel so obliged, please subscribe to my channel.